Good evening, everybody. I'm just a simple man, and my name is Noah Foster, and welcome to this Simple Take / predictions video on the Young Lions Cup and New Japan Pro Wrestling's two upcoming Destruction shows, Destruction in Beppu and Destruction in Kagoshima. Apologies if I butchered those names. Tonight we'll be discussing the previous two nights of Road Destruction and the momentum it may have given the challengers and the champions for the highlight matches coming up, as well as our thoughts so far on the Young Lions Cup, who we believe is going to win, who shows the most promise and been impressive, and who we think, I don't know. But before all that, allow me, of course, to introduce you to my co-host. He's a family man. He's simple like me. He's passionate about New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he's new to it, too. It is, of course, my good friend here at the holiday, Chris Mace. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing good. Long day at work, so it's time to talk about some wrestling. It always eases my mind.
You know, it's funny. People say keeping up with wrestling or watching wrestling, it causes you stress. That's why you balance it. In my opinion, and maybe this is just me, wrestling relieves me of stress. I can sit in a chair, naturally react, or lay on my bed and just watch wrestling. Because that's what I do, essentially. If I'm not doing homework or at work or playing video games, I watch wrestling. And New Japan Pro Wrestling is my number one. So with that, let's go ahead and get right into this. So our previous two nights on the Road to Destruction was Thursday, September 12th in Osaka, and this morning, Saturday, September 14th, in Yamaguchi, Japan. Let's go ahead and look at the results real quick here. Let's look at the Young Lions Cup as a whole. So we have Ren Narita versus Yota Tsuji and Carl Fredericks versus Alex Coughlin. Both Ren and both Fredericks picked up victories in their matches. They are currently tied for first place. We have four top-tier Young Lions across the brands of New Japan Dojo, LA Dojo, and the Fale Dojo, basically in this thing, because that's all three dojos in a field of 8 competing in this. And I said it from the get-go, I will stick to it. My pick to win this whole thing is Red Shoes Umino's son, Shota Umino, because I feel like his time under the John Moxley learning tree has developed more calculated. Ren Narita would be my second. And right now, both Shota and Ren, they are tied with 6. Current scores right now is Shota with 6, Ren with 6, Yota with 2, Yuya with 0. Apologies if I screw up any names. Poor Yuya. Clark with 6, Carl Fredericks with 6, Alex Coughlin with 4, and Michael Richards with 2. So before we get into more on the rest of the card, Chris, what are your thoughts so far on this Young Lions Cup? Who's impressed you the most, and do you still have any change as far as who you think can take it?
I haven't changed anything. Like I said, I think the matches that I've seen so far, so I haven't watched the whole thing yet, so I've been trying to play catch-up with everything. But from what I've seen so far, it's been very interesting, to say the least. Like I said, I think whoever, I can't remember who you said you picked, but I was very... Umino, yeah. Umino has been the one I've been impressed with a lot. He's just one of those ones that are like, this is really interesting. Let's see what he can do. And so far, I think you just said he was tied for first right now, 4-way tie for first.
That's correct. These Young Lion matches, they average about 8, 10 minutes possibly. And Ren Narita, he won his match with the Narita Special. And Carl Fredericks, he won his match with Half Angle Boston Crab. Shota was in action the following night. He won with a Fisherman Suplex. And Clark, he won with a Boston Crab. These Young Lions, they rely heavily on submission-based moves for victories or power-based moves for finishes. Whether it's a German Suplex or a Cloverleaf or a Sharpshooter or a half or full crab. That's really at the heart of their training. And again, I feel like Shota Umino, he's been in this for a while now, I think a couple years. He shows a lot of promise to me. Ren Narita has had incredible exposure this year, competing with 9 of the best New Japan has to offer, including some debuts, back at the Best of the Super Juniors Cup, even though he didn't pick up a single win. So there you go. I feel like it's going to come down to, in the end, Ren Narita versus Shota Umino. Not to discredit who Cindy and Irish think are going to win, like Clark Connors or Carl Fredericks, who also shows tremendous promise. I believe Carl Fredericks was in the Super J Cup, or one of these people were, and they faced TJP and gained major respect from him, too, because they were both former LA Dojo participants. And if you haven't watched that Super J Cup match, folks, I urge you to. The Super J Cup's now on New Japan, NJPW on demand, in both English and Japanese. And you know me, I'm impartial. I feel like I'm going to learn Japanese the more I watch Japanese commentary. And
I think I'm going to learn how to pronounce all their names eventually doing these shows with you.
You can only hope, right? Okay,
Yeah.
continue. Thursday, we had a nice little 3-on-3 showcase. It was the Young Lions versus Shota, Yuya, and Tetsun. Tetsun won with an Anaconda Vice. We then had, because they do like 6-way tag matches.
Mm-hmm.
6, 5-on-5, 4-on-4, 3-on-3, and usually they end with a 2-on-2. The next match was a 5-on-5. It's NJPW's main cast, as they call them, versus Bullet Club. We're building momentum towards the tag title match between the Gorillas of Destiny and Yoshihashi and Tomoe Ishii. Bullet Club gains favorite here. They pick up a win over Tomoaki Homa. I wonder if he did a Kokeshi and freaking missed it. I swear that dude's going to bust his brain up. He has used his head way too much. Good grief.
Yep.
Then we hype up Birds of Prey, Osprey and Eagles versus Bullet Club's ELP and Taichi for their titles. But Chase Owens picks up the win for his team in the 3-on-3 with a package pile driver, his main finisher, against the coach, Taguchi. So, favorite, I guess, in Bullet Club. In these tag previews, it's always interesting looking at who actually wins, who eats the fall. It's usually the guys outside the actual match. But then you see the psychology being played here, too. So, I mean, there's that. What was not the case here, as this next match, 4-on-4, it was New Japan's Finest and Chaos and Liger. It was the Ace, Liger, Sho and Yo versus, I'm just going to say it right now, Suzuki-gun, Dukai, Kanemaru, Minoru, and Zack Sabre Jr. We know what this match is centered around. Tanahashi picked up the win for his team over Dukai with a Texas Cloverleaf, a submission. Once again, showing Zack Sabre Jr., you see this? I can do this to you. I can make you tap out. Taka, get well soon. I miss Taka.
Yeah.
Then the next match, it hyped up really 2 matches when you think about it. I know one's not happening until next month, but it did hype up, of course, Goto versus Takagi, where we had Rocky, Goto, and Okada versus LIJ's Evil, Takagi, and Sonata. Takagi picks up his win, beating Rocky with Pumping Bomber. And that match went a good 14 minutes. But then we get what's been the biggest highlight, of course, right now. We get Naito and Jay White, and their partners, respectively, are Bushi and Gato. Jay White with a little momentum, doing the Blade Runner on Bushi. These two trying to psych each other up, get each other's minds. I'm in your head, I'm in your head. Smiling at each other, spitting at each other, tranquilloing. I am very looking forward to this title match, which we'll get into shortly. Which led us to this morning. We already talked about how the Young Lions won. Shota Umino won, he's at 6 now. And Clark Connors won, he's also at 6. Tag previews were as follows. We had the Young Lions versus the team of Shushi, Narita, Nagata. Blue Justice celebrating 35 years in wrestling. He picked up the win for his team here with the Nagata Lock 2. Nagata's one of my favorites. Always makes me laugh. Poor Alex, but I hope his arm's okay. A 5-on-5, though, we had Chaos and Makabe and Toru Hanai versus Bullet Club. Yoshihashi picks up the win here. A person a lot of people look down at, unfortunately, the headhunter. He picks up the win over Gato with the butterfly lock submission move. So the Bullet Club should be aware now, Tamatanga Taraloa, he can make you tap out. Because again, Ishii and Yoshihashi, they are facing Gorillas of Destiny for the tag titles. Then we get Tomoaki Homa versus Clark Connors, while in tow, Birds of Prey, and of course, ELP and Taichi. Once again, Chase Owens looking very strong. You've got to imagine they're setting up Chase Owens for something with all these wins. My apologies for calling Chase Owens the fall guy. I was wrong. He picked up the win here again over Homa, package pile driver. That is his go-to. Once again, that's in favor of the champs. What does this mean for Birds of Prey? We'll discuss that shortly. But then we get a little bit of one-on-one upsmanship in this next match between, Sho and Yo, Liger, Tanahashi versus, the same team as before. Zack Sabre Jr. picks up the win for his team, makes Yo tap out to Clocky Cat. I don't even remember what that submission looks like. But again, Tanahashi, Zack Sabre Jr., no strangers to each other. They could win either pinfall submission against one another. Zack Sabre Jr. picking up some momentum. One of my favorite promos in Japan, too. And then we get more momentum to Shingo Takagi as he picked up the win for his team of Bushi and Sonata against Rocky, Goto, and Okada. Once again, Rocky is the guy here that eats it, but he eats made in Japan. Goto versus Takagi is going to be a match of GTR, made in Japan, and forearms. I would not be surprised if one of these men nearly break their arm. Just saying. And then our final match, of course, highlighting the Intercontinental title hype, Evil and Naito versus Gato Jay White. Guess who won, folks? Naito again. In this setup, Naito has won both these matches. Scorpion, Deathlock. So those are our previous 2 days of action. We hyped up all the championship matches. We're hyped up the special showcase match to come. And the Young Lions come, of course, being at the forefront of all of this because that is the current tournament going on in this, I guess you could say, session of New Japan Pro Wrestling, since they are the International Wrestling Grand Prix, hosting tournaments throughout the entire year, highlighting a certain class of athletes in their, well, company. So with that, let's go ahead and apologize if I just rambled on, but, you know, I like to bring people caught up. Is there anything you want to say, Chris, as far as what's been hyped up so far? Who do you see with the most momentum going in at any of these title matches we got coming up? Has anyone, like, impressed you? Any other thoughts in the Young Lions Cup?
Like I said, you can tell where the story of the last couple of events you just went down the list of has been about submissions. Everybody's trying to get one-upsmanship. Everybody wanting to get the slight advantage over the other one, getting somebody's psychology, trying to get the other one's head. Hey, I do this. I can tap you out next day. I can tap you out too. They're playing storytelling with psychology with the submissions. Seems like it looks like 90% of these matches you just ran down all ended with submission holds. If you can think about it, you just read down everything and had all submissions except for maybe one or two matches you just talked about.
Basically, and yeah,
I'm looking forward to Zack Sabre Jr. Like I said, I'm looking forward to him. I think he's got to make a comeback. He did not have a good showing in the G1. I think he's got him, and he's lost his title now. He's kind of gone to a darker place. Like I said, he's snapped it with a lot of stuff. He's going to get his momentum back, and he's trying to do that. I think that's the story I'm more interested in with that, and also I'm going to probably butcher it, Ibushi versus Kenta. That's one that I'm really interested in as well, because that seems like an interesting matchup, and what's on the line is going to be interesting.
It's curious how both Kenta and Kota have not been involved at all with any of these events.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Kenta beat Kota, try saying that 5 times fast, in the freaking G1, so of course he's getting this opportunity. And Zack Sabre Jr., he tried. He didn't do the worst. He got 8 points. Remember, the worst in the G1 as far as scores go was Lance Archer. Does that mean he'll be in it next year? Only time will tell. I really wonder what the outlook of New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to be next year, because as you all know, after Wrestle Kingdom is over, New Year's Dash sets up the idea of the early half of NJPW. Who's going to change? Who's going to join this faction? Who's going to debut? What's going to happen? Only time will truly tell.
Who's going to leave and go somewhere else? You just don't. Who's going to come in? That's the whole storytelling there. Who's going to leave? And like I said, with other promotions now, with AEW coming into effect, there may be a lot of people that end up leaving here soon as well. You just don't know how. Like I said, how one new company that's got a lot of buzz, how it could change the industry and how change where everybody goes to.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I mean, you always got to remember the year that Gallows and Anderson and AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura all left the same time. Everybody freaked out. Oh no, they all left New Japan. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're just fine. Well, they got enough people there. And enough storytelling and enough wrestlers there to continue to go strong regardless of who leaves and who comes in. That's the good thing about New Japan. They're not weak in who they have on their roster right now. And if they lose some people, they have stars that can step up to the plate. And that's what makes them keep going strong, is that they have enough people they have built up. They have numerous people they have built up. So if they lose a couple, they have plenty of other people to take those spots and keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I mean, there are some contracts expiring early next year, and then there's some others that might be expiring later in 2021. But looking at the current proposed contract expirations, yeah, I don't see anybody necessarily leaving WWE, especially right now, for example, and go into New Japan Pro Wrestling. But again, the dynamics can change. There might be partnerships that could form. You never know. And I mean, we've seen Jon Moxley now working in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he's in AEW, and it seems like he's going to be working at least through them all the way up to Wrestle Kingdom. And I got 1 or 2 matches I hope to see, but I'll talk more about that when we get into Kia Pro Wrestling next month. Speaking of which, Minoru Suzuki, it looks like they're also setting up maybe a tie-in to maybe Minoru Suzuki versus Fusion Thunder Liger, since they have both been involved in the same matches. There is some other foreshadowing going on here. But honestly, looking at the upcoming matches we got for these 2 Destruction shows, I feel like Birds of Prey are going in with the least momentum. Because even though neither of them 8 falls, their teams lost both those matches. Favorite right now is in Bullet Club as far as that stance goes. So that's just a simple takeaway I have as far as that goes. And as far as the Lions Cup, Yota, apologies if I screw up that name, he's very new. He's trying. I hope he doesn't end with 0. And I'm still going with Shota Umino for the win. But with that, let's go ahead and get right into these Nights of Destruction. So we got, again, 2 Nights of Destruction, 1 tomorrow morning, Destruction in Beppu. Let's get started. Our first match is another match in the 12th Young Lion Cup League. It is Yota Shuji, apologies again if I screwed up that name, versus Carl Frederick. Now, let's see here. Yota Shuji, he has 2 points. Carl Fredericks is one of the leaders with 6 points. Based on that momentum alone, I am actually going to go with Carl Fredericks on this one. And also shout out to fellow NJPW follower and leader of AEW Nation, good brother Chris. He did 7 predictions for all 3 nights because it's wrestling. It's fun. He also picked Carl Fredericks. Chris, what about you?
Oh, Lord, I picked the other guy.
Well,
hey. I was doing my research on this stuff, so I was like, okay, during this part, I was like, okay, like say with G1, you can't criticize me now. I did really damn good in G1 with how I figured out scenarios, so I picked the other one to win. I didn't think Carl Edwards would have that many points so far, but hey, it's all good. I'm glad he does, so I think there's going to be an upset there, and he's going to get some points here, so that's why I went with him.
All right, fair enough. Let's go ahead and move on to our next Young Lions Cups match. It is Shota Umino with 6 points, one of the block leaders, versus Alex Coughlin. Also, I take that back. He has 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Shota Umino, he only has 1 loss under his belt. Alex Coughlin has 2 losses under his belt. Do we put the ties in favor of Coughlin versus Umino? I am just going to simply say no. I am going to go with Shota Umino for the win here. And also, good brother Chris Willis, he said Shota Umino. What about you?
I went with Umino, too. If I'm picking him to win, too, I went with Umino, definitely.
I feel like I said, Shota Umino's got to be a favorite to take this league. I mean, he's Reshu's Umino's son, so already he's got that name value to him. He's been under the learning tree of Jon Moxley, and it wouldn't surprise me if Jon Moxley, when he returns, he's once again under that learning tree because Jon Moxley heavily endorses the guy. He's got to be one of the most promising stars coming into New Japan Pro Wrestling out of this. Again, he and Ren Narita, who are NJPW purists, they're going to be 2 of the top stars to come out of this, and we're going to see them eventually in Wrestle Kingdom matches. I guarantee you. So with that, that's why I went with him. All right, that takes care of the league matches. Let's go into our showcase tag matches. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, we got a lot.
All right, here we go. So we got the team of Yuya Uemura, Ren Narita, Rizusuke Taguchi, Yuji Nagata versus Michael Richards, Clark Connors, Toa Hinari, and Manabu Nakanishi, one of the veterans of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we got a Young Lion team led by the coach and the legend, and then we got the other team of a couple of Young Lions with Toa Hinari trying to prove a point, and Manabu Nakanishi. I apologize if I screwed up any of those names. When I look at these team setups, let me just look at good brother Chris's. He said Team Toa Hinari. Taguchi, I just saw him coming off the Super J Cup in a stellar match against Jonathan Gresham, and he won. You can't go against the coach. I'm actually going to go with, because I'm just going to say this, you're either with Team Taguchi or Team Hinari, because those are the 2 most current, I believe, in my opinion, NJPW stars. No offense to the legends, Young Lions, they're all learning from all these people. I'm going to go with Team Taguchi. Chris, what about you?
I picked the first team you listed off, so I ain't trying to butcher all these names. I'm trying to learn these names slowly but surely.
So you said Taguchi, Team Taguchi, basically. Okay. And this is an odd one out for good brother Chris. He went with Team Toa Hinari, so we'll see what happens there. All right. Moving on from there, we go into a battle of the factions. We got Chaos's Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo, with Jushin Thunder Liger versus, oh geez, you know me, on Suzuki Gun Pro, Kasaninare, Dukai, the Heel Master, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and the King, Minoru Suzuki. You know what I want to come out of this eventually. I want to see Minoru Suzuki versus Jushin Thunder Liger one-on-one. But that's not what this match is about. It is a tag team showcase. But I feel like that's the story of this match. And it's for that reason I'm picking Suzuki Gun to win, Minoru Suzuki for the win. And guess what? Good brother Chris, he agrees with me. Chris, Mace, what about you?
I went with Sho, Yo, and Liger.
Dadgum you! Why you went with them?
Because it's Jushin Thunder Liger. That's why I went with them. Like I said, this is his last hurrah and everything like that, and he's going to be showing Sho and Yo a lot of stuff. So I'm thinking here at this point they're going to have an interesting matchup, and I think we're going to see an upset. So I went with Sho, Yo, and Liger because anything can happen in New Japan. Like I said, this is the hardest stuff to predict is New Japan by far.
Yeah, especially when it comes to 5-on-5 tag matches that are eliminations, which is our next match. Get this. Chaos and NJPW Legends versus the Sweet People. Yes, they own it. Screw WWE doing that BS. Bullet Club. It is the Birds of Prey, Robbie Eagles, Will Ospreay, teaming with Tomoge Homa, Togi Makabe, and Kota Ibushi, the G1 versus Bullet Club's current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, ELP and Taiji Shimori, Into, the Tokyo Pimp, Yojiro Takahashi, the Road General Bad Luck Fale, who has a huge hand in some of the young lions we're seeing in this cup. I thank him for that. And the newest member of Bullet Club and the current never openweight champion, Kenta, who will be facing Kota Ibushi one-on-one for his contract, I believe, the following day.
This following night, yep.
Let me think about this. Night, excuse me. All right, let me think about this. So Bullet Club, they have all the momentum right now when it comes to the tag match against the Birds of Prey. They've won those tag team showcases, but it was with the help of Chase Owens. We got Kenta and Kota involved in here. That's the heavy story going in this match. And based on that, I think Kota's going to go into this with momentum. But Kenta's going to go into here to prove a point. It wants me to believe and lean towards Bullet Club winning for that reason. But the Birds of Prey have no momentum, it seems, going into their title match. It is for that reason I am going with the team of Ospreay and Kota and company. I am with NJPW. Chris, what about you?
NJPW.
All right, so your team, Kota, Ospreay, and company. And good brother, of course, he picked Bullet Club.
Yep.
Well, he and Cindy are Bullet Club pros. Too sweet to both of them. Shout out to the Indie Queen, Cindy G. All right, let's move on to our next match here. Boy, does this guy have momentum, and this guy does not. It is Rocky Romero, Hiroki Goto, and Kazuchika Okada, the current IWGP champion. Team Chaos versus LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Sanada. Shingo Takagi with a bunch of wins these past few days over Rocky Romero, it seems, for his team. And we're hyping up two matches here. We got Okada and Sanada, who are going to face each other for the title at King of Pro Wrestling. And then we got Goto and Takagi that are going to face each other the following day in a G1 rematch. Goto has yet to pick up a win in this whole thing. And Bushi's been known to lose matches as well. He lost that one-time match against Jay White and I believe Jado. So, let's see here. I am going to go for that reason, because Takagi has so much momentum. I'm going to go with Team Okada. I'm going to go with Team Chaos. Good brother Chris, he went with LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón. Okay. Chris, what about you?
Team Chaos.
All right. What's your thoughts behind that?
Goto's got... I like Goto. His performance at a G1 I thought was very good to me. He had some great matches, especially that win over Moxley. That was the one pick. The one loss I picked Moxley to have and Goto to do it, and he did it. So I was so happy I was right on that one. And then, like I said, Okada, like I said, he's got all this momentum to me. So, like I said, he's the one that, I feel like his team needs to win. He needs to keep the momentum as a champion because, like I said, my opinion, and it's a spoiler, I still don't see him losing until he gets to Wrestle Kingdom.
Wow, you really see that match etched in stone. All right. Well, we'll see if the momentum of these next days change that. Speaking of which, next match, and we're highlighting the title match crush here. It is Los Ganadores de Pong's Evil and Tranquilo. Tetsuya Naito, his Destino, current IWGP Intercontinental Champion, versus Crown Jewel Bullet Club. Chase Owens picking up a lot of wins here lately. And his partner, the leader of Bullet Club, Reaver the Switchblade, it's Jay White. Now, Evil and Naito, they have won over Jay White and Gato. But Chase Owens has been picking up a lot of wins lately. But I am not going against the current Intercontinental Champion. I am with Team LIJ all the way. And so is good brother Chris. All right, Chris Mace, what about you?
Who's my favorite New Japan wrestler?
Evil.
So, who do you think I'm going with?
You're going with LIJ.
You should have known that answer.
I don't know. Jay White might have convinced you. He convinced you during the G1.
He did, but this is Evil, though. I'm going with Evil Naito to win this.
All right, fair enough. Which leads us to our highlighted matches of the night, the title matches. Our first match is for the IWGP Tag Team Championships. It is Bullet Club's current champs, Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga, the Gorillas of Destiny, versus the Headhunter, Yoshihashi, and the Stone Pit Bull, Tomohiro Ishii. Now, do I see a title change? Man, I would love to see Tomohiro Ishii as tag champ. Yoshihashi, a lot of people bring him down. Like, why is he still going? I'm annoyed by him, blah, 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 blah. And obviously, this is coming off that anger Tomohiro has against Bullet Club, causing him the Neverweight title back at Royal Quest when he was facing Kenta. Bullet Club never travels alone, and I feel like those tag titles are not leaving the Gorillas of Destiny anytime soon. It's for that reason I am going with Bullet Club to retain. Chris, what about you?
Oh, Lord, I think I wrote my notes wrong, so I didn't realize it was for the tag titles when I looked at this and did my predictions.
Well,
but I'm gonna keep mine the same. I went with Ishii, and I can't pronounce his other guy's name. Come on now. I'm gonna go with them to win. I think we're gonna have new tag champions since it's for a tag title. I did not realize when I did my predictions for the tag title, so I was thinking if it was a non-title match, they could get a win and build up to a future tag title match. But since it is for tag titles, I'm gonna go bold and go with Ishii and the other guy to go win them.
I wouldn't mind seeing these titles change to Suzuki-gun again, being a little bit, pro-Suzuki-gun. I want to see, like, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, maybe Dukai do them since El Desperado's injured, but I digress. Yeah, and we're all in agreement here. We're all Bullet Club. Too sweet. He said Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, too. Which leads us to the match that I'm going to let you go first on and give your thoughts on, which is one of the matches you're looking forward to the most these next 2 days. Main event, the British Heavyweight Championship. The champion now, the ace of New Japan. Never count out the ace, folks. Man, this guy. Hiroshi Tanahashi. I can imagine the pain he's in every day. Versus Zack Sabre Jr., the submission master, with no Taka in tow. I'm not going to say anything else. Chris, take me through your thoughts on this match and your winner.
I think Zack Sabre Jr. is going to regain his title. I did not pick him to lose his title at Royal Quest, so I can't count Tanahashi out by no means. I shouldn't count him out. So when he won the title, I wasn't disappointed in the fact that he won the title because it was a great match. Zack Sabre Jr. He's like that British title is meant for Zack Sabre Jr. Now. That's my opinion. He's known with that title. He is one of the best submission wrestlers, at least top 5 in the world today. I'm sorry if people disagree or agree. I'm not really worried about it. It's my opinion. He's one of the top 5 best submission wrestlers right now in 2019 as we keep going forward. I see him tapping out Tanahashi. I see him regaining his title. That's what I'm seeing.
Wow, man, that was a short reign. It's not usual that the titles are hot potato here. But again, British Heavyweight Championship, Tanahashi feels complete. But I do feel like there's something bigger planned for him, especially for Wrestle Kingdom. Now, do I see them planning that out right now? No, I don't. And it is for that reason for right now, I am going to say that Tanahashi retains. I am going against you. And also, good brother Chris, he believes Tanahashi's going to retain too, but he said, sigh, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I
Yeah,
honestly
but also
feel
I
like,
don't.
go ahead.
Well, like I said, this is not classified as a New Japan title as well. Yes, we understand that New Japan titles don't hot potato, but this is not really a New Japan title either. So therefore, I think it's a little bit different circumstances as well.
Fair enough. And I mean, like I said, as part of their partnership with Rev Pro and working in the UK, again, New Japan Pro Wrestling expanding its horizons and stuff like that. So, I mean, I get that. But bottom line, I just don't see that title changing hands yet this soon. And I can see Hiroshi Tanahashi taking that title into the UK and defending it there and still holding it. I feel like it's going to be something bigger. Or Taka is going to have to come back, reinvent Zack Sabre Jr., and maybe somehow bring this match back again. I'm sure this won't be the last time these two face each other, and honestly, I wouldn't mind that because these two have incredible chemistry. I just can't see a title change this soon.
All right. Like I said, too, I feel like Zack Sabre Jr. lost it in the UK, so what better way to get his payback and get his title back by winning it in Japan?
Well, I mean, Tomohiro Ishii held it for quite a while, and Zack Sabre Jr. didn't get it back till Wrestle Kingdom. So imagine if they set this up all the way to Wrestle Kingdom. I wouldn't mind that. So, we'll see. All right, that takes care of destruction in Beppu. Again, apologies if I screwed up that name. Sorry, Google, help me. Let's go into Kagoshima, however you would say it. Again, apologies. Destruction in Kagoshima. So we got, of course, two more Young Lions Cup matches. We have Yuya Uemura, apologies if I screwed that up, versus Clark Connors. And the current scores, again, is Yuya with 0. Ouch, the only one with 0. That is sad. Versus Clark Connors, who's one of the block leaders, with 6. Is Yuya going to have the Ren Narita effect here in the Best Super Juniors where he goes through this thing with 0? He's probably like, the newest guy, I think, with the least experience in this thing. Ah, man, poor Yuya. I'm sorry. I just don't think it's your time. I'm going with Clark Connors. He has incredible momentum behind him. Chris, what about you?
I went with, I'm not going to butcher his name, Miro. I think he's going to pull an upset out of him and beat Connors, and he's going to have an upset victory here. So I'm going with him to finally get some points on the board. I don't see him going through this whole Young Lions tournament with 0 points. There's not even in the G1, for example, when I watched all that, nobody had 0 points to end it. So I don't see him going with 0 points through the whole thing. So I'm picking him to get an upset here.
Yeah, I mean, stranger things have happened, but I don't think there's much more to say about that. All right, let's go ahead and go into our next match. Ren Narita.
What did good brother Chris say?
Sorry. He said Clark Connors as well. Apologies. All right, let's go into our next match. It's Ren Narita versus Michael Richards. Ren Narita, block leader with 6 points. Michael Richards with 2. Ren Narita gaining huge momentum. Definitely a favorite in this. Michael Richards, though, don't count the guy out. But so far, his only win is against the guy with the worst score, Yuya. And right now, I am a pro Narita. Again, I think this is going to come down to Narita and Shota. And it's for that reason I'm going with Ren Narita. Let's see here. Oh, this is interesting. Good brother Chris went with Michael Richards. I wonder what sort of background he could have gave us on him. But, all right. Chris, what about you?
I went with Michael Richards, too.
Reason?
Because I was just reading up stuff about it. Like I said, I had to try to read up stuff about all these young lions. Like I said, as I'm learning through this is a learning experience as I'm going when I'm doing these videos with you. So I was just reading up on some stuff about him, and I figured at this point this would be the match where he can get a win. So that's why I picked him.
All right, fair enough. But I'm going to go with Ren Narita. Again, he shows a lot of promise to me. He's a big favorite in New Japan. And I feel like, he seems more hungry. I also look at who wants it more, who really wants it more. Narita's one of those I feel that wants it more than anybody right now since coming out and wrestling in NJPW. Those tag matches is like he wants to be a guy on his own. I went with Narita. So we'll see what happens. It's 2 against 1 for me. All right, let's move on to, sorry, Clark. Oh, sorry, damn it. Sorry, Carl. Okay, let's see here. I wasn't sure what he was talking about. All right, well, this should be interesting. We have a 4-on-4 tag highlight of the Young Lions. It's like the dojos facing each other. Yota Shuji, Shota Umino, the coach Taguchi, and the legend Yuji Nagata versus Coblin, Carl Fredericks, ooh, that's tough to call, Toa Nare and Manabu Nakanishi. All right, Carl Fredericks, he shows a lot of incredible promise. He's also a block leader. And I believe in the last one, I did call Team Taguchi winning. But I feel like here you give, I feel like Carl and Alex have great chemistry together too. They could eventually become a tag team, in my opinion. Alex, of course, right now with 4 points. This one was actually tricky for me to think about, but I am going to go with jeez. And then Toro now is trying to prove a point, trying to get himself in next year's G1. Fudge it. I'm going to go with Team Toa Hanare on this one. I'm going to go against the coach. What about you?
I'm going with the coach.
All right, you're going with the coach. Get Taguchi. We'll get the Tagu dance again, too. I love that dance. The funky weapon will come into play as people try to figure out the coach's plays. I'm still trying to learn that. But, all right, let's see here. Okay, good brother Chris says, and I quote, "Damn it! Sorry, Carl Fredericks. I got Team Yuji. He went with Nagata. All right, so we got with the coach. All right, we'll see what happens. Because obviously, we know that Toro or Manabu is going to pick up the win for their team, or Taguchi or Nagata. Because again, the Young Lions, they are simply learning and showcasing. These matches, usually Young Lions, they don't actually get the win, but sometimes they're involved in the decision. Or all the time, actually. All right. Moving on from there. Well, this will be interesting depending on the result of the previous night. Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo versus, are they the new tag champs? Yoshihashi and Tomohiro Ishii versus Bullet Club. Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale, a very dangerous duo. And I wonder if they went to Area 51 yet or not. Found those aliens. And are they going to be the former champs or still the champs? Are we going to set up Sho and Yo versus these guys, depending on what might happen? Tamatanga and Tonga Loa, GOD. It's Bullet Club versus Chaos. All right, so here's my thinking. Like I said, previous night, I don't see a title champ. But Sho and Yo, they are former junior heavyweight tag team champions. Why not try and set them up for the heavyweight tag team title, since both of them believe they can be heavyweights in their own class. Sho especially has proved that going through those matches he did. And I feel like Sho has the most promise as a singles competitor out of the two. That's just my. So based on what I want to set up, I am actually going to go with Team Chaos. And I think we're going to set up Sho and Yo, Roppongi 3K versus GOD. Because again, I think GOD is still going to be tag champs. And I think Chase Owens, I'm going to say it, Chase Owens is going to eat the fall. I went with Team Chaos. Chris, what about you?
I went with Team Chaos.
All right. And good brother Chris, he went with Team, I go figure, Bullet Club.
Yeah, he went with Bullet Club. We already know.
Yeah, he probably thinks Chase Owens is going to pick up the win for that team. Because Chase Owens, when it comes to these tag previews, he's been picking up all these wins for Bullet Club. But again, we'll see. All right. Our next match. It is, once again, a battle of New Japan Pro Wrestling and Suzuki-gun. One of my favorites. I never get tired of. Jushin Thunder Liger, Tomoaki Honma, Togo Makabe, and the ace of New Japan, will he still be champ, Hiroshi Tanahashi, versus Katsuninare, Suzuki-gun, Dukai, the heel master, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Minoru Suzuki, and Zack Sabre Jr. Will he be holding that title? All right. So, again, I feel like the biggest thing out of this is obviously going to be Minoru Suzuki, Jushin Thunder Liger, or bragging rights, or the further escalate, I want my title, if Hiroshi Tanahashi is still champ. Now, who do I see picking up the win here, and what could I see the outcome being? I missed Taiji. I wonder what he's up to. I am going to go with, in this match, this one's hard to call. The previous night, I went with Suzuki. You know what? Let's keep jockeying for position. I'm going to go with Team Liger on this one. And good brother Chris went with Suzuki. Chris, what about you?
I went with Team Liger, and here's the reason why. This is a crazy scenario I was thinking in my head, and I don't know what's going to happen, but hey, I can always have wishful thinking. I'm thinking Liger's going to my theory is right, and Zack Sabre Jr. regains his British title. Mm-hmm. I was thinking maybe Liger is the one who pinned Zack Sabre Jr., therefore maybe setting up a match for the British title with Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jushin Thunder Liger. That was my thoughts on it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't have a title match for that yet. And then again, there's also showcase matches on that too. I can see them definitely setting up that, but maybe that's when we'll also get Minoru Suzuki versus Juice in front of Liger. Two of those matches, both of those matches are a very strong possibility to me. But I like your booking because that does book a title match, and I think that would be awesome if he does get it. All right, I like that. Moving on to our next match, though. There we go.
What a good brother Chris picked.
Oh, sorry, I thought I said that. He picked Team Suzuki, so we'll see what happens. Good brother Chris, we'll see you on video soon, bro. Anyway,
Yep.
Moving on from there, we get another Team Chaos versus Team LIJ match as we hype up again Goto and Takagi versus and Okada and Sonata, excuse me. Roger Romero, Hiroki Goto, Kazuchika Okada, Team Chaos versus Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Sonata, LIJ. Again, we're setting up the ideas and planting the seeds. Who got the more momentum going into their match next month in King Pro Wrestling? Okada and Sonata. And then we got the imminent rematch coming, which I believe will be in Kobe. Goto and Takagi. Bushi and Romero are just there, but we also know how much Bushi and Rocky Romero, they hate each other. Rocky Romero's least favorite person in New Japan Pro Wrestling is not Jay White, it is Bushi. Period. And by the way, Bushi beat Rocky Romero in the Super J Cup as well, thus furthering his hatred. Anyway, as far as this match goes, you gotta look at momentum. Who's gonna have more momentum? Who needs more momentum? I honestly see this match going to the other guys. I am actually gonna go with Okada, pinning with a Rainmaker, Bushi. I'm going with Team Chaos. Chris, what about you?
Team Chaos.
All right, what's your thinking?
You read it. Look at where I put. Like I said, anybody with CC, I had to get this thing right here just for the fact that I'm doing all these predictions and stuff. I had to get a notebook to keep up with everything.
Yeah.
My thinking, why was I thinking? I might thinking for some. Oh, I know why. Because my idea was having Goto actually pin Sonata. That's what I was thinking, because then later on, when it does come down to the Rainmaker versus Sonata, because we already had, if I remember right, we already had that match earlier this year for the title. That was Sakata's first title defense after winning it back, right?
Yes.
I know we discussed this before. I keep wanting to go brain dead that Sonata's had a title match already this year.
You're all right.
I'm thinking that way. Maybe later on that would be a big pinfall bin for Goto there, and then maybe later on having somewhere down the road Okada versus Goto for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. That's why I picked them.
Goto is a legend, and I mean they're both Chaos. It's not strange. It's not strange to think about Chaos facing each other for that title. But I mean, strangest things have happened. All we know is that we got Okada versus Sonata coming at King of Pro Wrestling next month, and that is sure to go the distance. So, Interesting thinking. We'll see what happens. All right, moving on. Let's see here what good brother Chris said. He went with LIJ. All right, so we'll see what happens there with that one. Okay, let's go ahead and hype up the Intercontinental Championship match at King of Pro Wrestling. It is the team of Evil and Naito. In my opinion, this is the strongest duo in LIJ that you can come up with. Versus Jay White and the Tokyo Pimp, Yujiro Takahashi. I wonder if Peter's going to be at ringside. Anyway, again, this is going to be a battle of Jay White and Naito. Evil, I can see him actually submitting Yujiro, thus furthering momentum for Naito. And it is for that reason I'm just going to keep it simple and go with Team LIJ. I don't think I need to ask you, but go ahead and take me through your psychology in this match.
Evil. That's who. Evil and Naito will win. Evil's going to pin. I think Evil's going to pin Tamahashi, or it may be possible that he pins White. So later down the road, when we do predictions for Naito and White, if that comes to pass, maybe it can set up a match for Evil to get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship.
I mean, yeah, stranger things have happened, but I don't think Jay White has ate a pinfall yet this entire tour. Because again, you're going to protect Naito and White. You're going to do the psychology versus the actual decision making, because you'll be like, I beat your boy, I could beat you. I can only imagine what we're going to see. All right. So now we get to the meat of this card, the main course, the special attraction matches. Is the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship. Oh boy. The Birds of Prey, as they're now known, Chaos's own, Robbie Eagles and Will Ospreay, picking up the win back at NJPW World Quest, making this match official versus the current IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions. The winner of the Super J Cup 2019, ELP, did not see that coming, and he will challenge Will Ospreay no matter what next month for his Junior Heavyweight Championship, and ELP's partner, the Bone Soldier, Taiji Ishimori. This match, in my opinion, is going to be match of the night. This match could go the distance. They got up to 60 minutes. Robbie Eagles, ELP, they managed Super J Cup. I saw that match. That was phenomenal. Great storytelling, great action. ELP won. Will Ospreay and Phantasmo, they faced each other numerous occasions, not only in NJPW, but they also have history in Rev Pro and in the UK. And then you have Taiji Ishimori, who you know wants to get that title back from Will Ospreay, and also is going to hold blood against Robbie Eagles, turning on Bullet Club. Again, Will Ospreay brought back the real Robbie Eagles. That's why he's in Chaos now. And we've seen what incredible dynamics these two bring together. Do I see a title change, though? That is the question. We already know ELP. He is the British Cruiserweight Heavyweight Champion. That's what his name. And Bullet Club has been on fire with these two. ELP has had one of the strongest runs since coming to NJPW, in my opinion. And it hasn't even been a year. But I like this new team. I feel like we need to do something different. And we already know El Phantasmo has a title match coming. I am going with a title change. Birds of Prey for the win. But apparently Good Brother Chris is not. He believes in retention in Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori. Chris Mace, your thoughts on this match and your pick.
Like I said, I think the storytelling with the J Cup, I know everybody was surprised of him winning the J Cup. I believe what's going to happen is Birds of Prey are going to become the new junior tag team champions. That's my pick. And I'm just thinking scenario-wise later down the road, ELP has a match for the junior heavyweight championship. And I think it's going to end up being switching title for titles. You're going to give Ospreay, make him a double champion, and he's going to drop his junior heavyweight title to ELP. I think they're going to switch titles.
And Taiji Ishimori can play as a factor to that. Well, I guess we'll see soon enough. So it's 2 against 1. Good brother Chris. Good luck. All right. Here we go. Main event time. IWGP Heavyweight Championship right to challenge contract match. Kota Ibushi, the Golden Star, and the winner of G1 Climax 29, and the current holder versus one person that beat him during the G1. The only person that beat him in the G1 besides the champ himself. Kenta, the current never openweight champion. Now, these two are no strangers to each other. They faced off on the freaking first night of the G1 in one of my favorite matches of that night. It was a match of strikes and kicks. Simple as that. And Kenta won. Since then, these two have not met one-on-one. And Kenta now has Bullet Club on his side as momentum. But could GOD push Kenta to this height? Or is Bullet Club going to be involved in this? Is Ishii going to prevent this from happening? Because we know Ishii is a huge supporter in Kota. Even though Tomohiro Ishii's in Chaos and Kota Ibushi is freelance. He's on his own. We know that the Ace endorses Kota Ibushi as the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's like he's passing the torch to this guy. And it is for that reason, and the fact that I feel like the biggest possible match you could have right now at Wrestle Kingdom for this title is Kota Ibushi versus Kazuchika Okada. I am going with Kota to retain. Chris, what about you?
Okay, Kenta was the first one, the only one besides Okada to beat him. It was for Kenta's first match back, the first night of the first match he had in G1 series, he beat him.
Yep.
Since then, Ibushi went on a roll. He lost only to Okada. He went on an incredible roll. Ended up winning the G1 Climax. He has earned the right to face Okada or the champion at whatever time at Wrestle Kingdom. My theory is it's still going to be Okada, so I'm going to say that until he loses it. As well as Kenta's done, and as press that I keep telling everybody, Kenta is back. It would be a great story if Kenta was able to beat him and win it and be the never openweight champion and go up against Okada again, because those two had an incredible freaking match. That was the match I picked to be a draw in the G1. It didn't happen. It came close, but didn't happen. But I just can't do it right now. I'm going with Ibushi to retain his right to challenge.
All right. And also, good brother Chris, he also predicted Kota Ibushi. The bottom line is this: the road to destruction has made curves and bumps and turns and detours ahead. I'm sure this won't be the last Kota case defense for Kota, and I'm sure Okada versus Sonata will not be the last title defense for Okada to keep his main event Wrestle Kingdom hype alive. But the bottom line is this: we're in for some incredible action. I sense there will be at least one title change. We'll see what happens. And we know we got the road to destruction that will lead to destruction in Kobe. We'll talk more about that later. But for now, that is all we have for tonight, folks. So thank you so much for tuning in. And we hope you enjoy both destruction shows in Kagoshima and Beppu, not in that order, and also the Young Lions Cup. Let us know your predictions down in the comments below on all of this. Let us know any questions you might have and any thoughts you have on NJPW in general. Thank you to all that tuned in. Chris Mace, an extreme pleasure as always, sir. Good luck to you. This is going to be extremely fun. Anything you want to plug, and where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Christopher Mace. You can find me on my new YouTube channel at the Holiday Christopher Mace. The only content I have so far is Clash Champion predictions, but I will be working on content here soon enough. I know I'm going to do a King of Ring retrospective after the finals of it on Monday and give my thoughts on the whole tournament, how it went. I know there's a lot of controversy with this tournament and the concept of it this year, and I am working on some ideas for a project here in the future, so stay tuned for that. Sport Aftermatch Wrestling, they do great work with their shows with What's NXT that goes live on NoDQ.com, and they do the NXT party. They're just posted episode 60 on their channel, so go check it out. It's Stephen and good old Jeff Meacham, so check that out. You check that out. Great episode, great show to discuss. Support Colin Andrews in a chopping block. Hopefully we get him to 100 subscribers. He's at 23 right now. He does great work with his show. Short, sweet, to the point. Check him out. Subscribe. Show the love to that man. He does great work with his stuff. Support Cindy G's. She's doing, I'm never going to learn these channels, right? But she's doing her wrestling blogs right now. She's done her second one. It's very interesting. It's a really good perspective of getting ready to go see a show. It's a really interesting concept. It's different, and you should check it out and just see if you enjoy it. See if it's your cup of tea, as we would say. James and Owen, they do great work. James creates his own wrestling content with his wrestling shows. Great work he does. Owen, like I said, he does great work as well. Yes, we know his videos are long. Just take them with stride. I love you, Owen, but they are long. But he does great amazing work. He knows his history. He knows what he's talking about. So, Great minds will talk for hours about wrestling. So I will never fault him for that.
No.
And like I said, good brother Chris with the AEW Nation, he's at over 1,400 right now. Hope he's back on one of these videos soon. And like I said, last but not least, support NoDQ.com. They're the reason that a lot of us are gotten into YouTube channels and started doing wrestling shows, and support the whole team there. They do a lot of great work. Like I said, at the end of the day, we all work hard. And we all take times out of our day to produce these shows and talk about wrestling because we love wrestling. And at the end of the day, we were all wrestling fans first and foremost before anything.
Absolutely, brother. Preach it for wrestling. All right. Thank you as always, Chris. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know more about me, know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured it out by now, from his sermon, preach, and overall stance, or from what you can see in my background, I am a lifelong fan of wrestling. So if you want to follow me and talk anything wrestling, WWE and beyond, NXT, 205 Live, NXT UK, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, AEW, Impact Wrestling, and Independent Wrestling. Support Independent Wrestling, folks, local and wide. Look me up on Twitter, NoDQ.com/Noah. NoDQ.com/Noah takes you to my Twitter page. Or follow my simple YouTube channel here at youtube.com/user/Noah210. Every video is in a nice little playlist. You'll find all sorts of videos on reviews, summaries, takes, recaps, and other rants and discussions on all things wrestling. At the heart of it is #205LiveMatters. I'm starting some new content myself in audio form called The Simple Man's Rant in Wrestling, where I discuss what I watch in wrestling every week, maybe my favorite matches of the week, and who knows what else it could come to. I also plan on doing some new content, maybe a simple chat where I just talk to someone randomly about wrestling. Only time will tell. It depends on time, cost, and work keeps me very busy. And as Chris Mason alluded to, support NoDQ. They're the reason I'm in YouTube. Forever indebted to them. Go buy a shirt. NoDQ.com/shirts or NoDQ.com/merch. Go download the playlist on Spotify. Join it. #TeamNoDQ. Songs for everybody. Go follow everybody's official website. Go make a friend or make an enemy or tip troll virtue. Your opinions matter. There's a comment section on everything. Polls, columns, memes, gifts, reviews, recaps, predictions. It's actually female picks. You name it, it's there. It's wrestling, primarily WWE. A little bit of AEW and some independent wrestling as well. Also, your predictions matter. As he alluded to, he did Clash Champions predictions. So did I. I now encourage all of you to join the NoDQ Galaxy Predictions League. Fill out the form and let's crown the first ever winner of the NoDQ Galaxy, the king and queen of that. Also, as far as King of Mingos, all hail King Corbin. There'll be a link to the form.
King Gable.
We'll see. There'll be a link to the form in the comment section down below. And also stay tuned for more on this channel where we will be doing more, simple takes, predictions on NJPW and beyond. There will be predictions for Ring of Honor, Dip for Dishonor, a simple take on these two Destruction shows, as well as predictions for Destruction in Kobe. And I will be doing an AEW predictions preview, where I will be discussing the AEW roster and my thoughts on their first episode. Will I turn that to a weekly thing? Only time will tell. And of course, at the heart of my channel, follow #205LiveMatters, a stance and a review on Cruiserweight Wrestling, then, now, forever, today, and a weekly recap of the 205 Live brand with some fancy booking. And as always, as I like to close, support your wrestling outlets, both big and small, and let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, one-of-a-kind wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that, thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in, as always. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know your predictions and thoughts on these NJPW shows, as well as the Young Lions Cup and anything else you might have. Hit that bell to know when the next video will go up on this channel. Hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. If I get 100, you know what? Maybe I will start doing some of these live. I haven't decided what. I haven't decided when. Maybe I'll even start doing prediction reactions live or pay-per-views live. I don't know. We'll see. I'm up to 89. Thank you for all who subscribed. Thank you to all who has viewed my channel, even if it's just for one video. I'm also approaching my channel's 1-year anniversary. I might just do a live stream for that where I just take questions or talk about wrestling just cause. But until the next video, whether here on my channel on YouTube at youtube.com/user/Noah210 or somewhere on NoDQ.com, enjoy life, enjoy wrestling. Take care of your family. Treasure every moment you get because tomorrow's never guaranteed. And until the next video, because in a few hours, we are on Destruction in Beppu. Enjoy, y'all, and enjoy your weekend. Have a blessed one. And to all far and wide, wrestling fans and non-wrestling fans alike, I hope you all have a good night.
Have a good night, y'all.
Good luck, Chris Mason. Good luck, brother Chris, in this simple predictions game for NJPW. For wrestling! Bye, everybody.